Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to be apparently giving advice to you guys. I have no idea. What I did see was that the Santagato Studios Instagram account posted a thing like, Ask Joe Advice. I did not approve of this video at all. It has been sprung upon me today. So I'm going to try and give the best advice that I can under the circumstances. Let's go. Is it normal to always be stressed at a job even if you enjoy it? I think that if you enjoy anything, part of that is stress, but it's like good stress. Like if you care about something a lot, then it's going to sort of like take up a lot of your time and you care about it so much so you stress over it. But even if you really enjoy something, I think that's a different type of stress. So what I'm trying to say is there's no escaping it, and that's it. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. You will be stressed. I have one of the easiest and most fulfilling jobs in the world, and I definitely get stressed a lot of the time. So, if I'm getting stressed, I don't really have hope for a lot of other people that probably are not in such a, position that I'm in. Like, I get to sit here and just talk shit and give advice like I know anything about the world, and I get stressed. So if I'm getting stressed, I don't know that I could offer you any sort of light at the end of the tunnel here. Sorry. I'm a dude and have known my best friend for over 10 years. We have a dope-ass friendship, but he doesn't know I'm secretly physically attracted to him. I dream of the day I could be sucking on him. Sucking on him sounds like this is Dracula. I would love the day that I could just sink my teeth into his neck and suck out all his fucking blood. What should I do? Oh yeah, I think I'm gay too. Yeah, I think you're gay too, dude. If you're best friends with a guy for over 10 years and you want to suck his ween, I'd say that's a pretty hefty symptom of gayness. So I think that part we can kind of like, yep, did that. The other part is, I would probably sit him down and have a conversation with him, and I would also clean it up. I wouldn't be like, hey dude, I'd love to suck on you. I would just say like, I think I have feelings for you and that I might be gay. Maybe start with the gay. Don't let him know that you're this gay, because this is this is gay. But be like, yeah, I might be a little gay. If you feel comfortable enough to come out to your friend, which I assume, 10 years of friendship, you would be comfortable with that person. But if you are comfortable enough to have that conversation with them, then I would let them know. And if it's positive, then maybe, you wait. You give it like 2 weeks and you're like, by the way, I'm kind of attracted to you. And I understand if you are not cool with that, but I just wanted to let you know. Because who knows? Maybe you're both over there hiding in the weeds. And maybe he's over here writing the same thing into this video, being like, I like to suck on my best friend of 10 years as well. And then you guys can have you could suck each other and live happily ever after, sucking on each other for the rest of time. How do I stop caring so much for a dude that gives me the bare minimum? So I think everyone at some point in their lives has been in a situation where it's like, I feel like I like this person so much, and maybe they don't feel this way about me, or they give me just enough to keep me on, but I don't know. It feels way more intense for me than it does for them. How do I fix this? Because I don't want to come off too strong, because then it's going to scare him away. But what I have done in the past, which this has worked out sometimes, and other times it's like, no, but at least you get a definitive sort of answer, is you steering the ship for once. Because when you are in a situation where it's like, how do I stop caring for this guy? He gives me the bare minimum. Like, you're letting him steer the ship. Because if it was up to you, you guys would be in a relationship. It sounds like what you have to do is now take the wheel and be like, this is what we're doing, or we're not doing it. And you have to be okay with that. Tell this guy, I feel this way about you. And it's not that we need to be in a relationship right now or that we have to get married or anything, but I want to pursue a relationship with you and be dating. And if that's not something that you're into, I just need to know that, because then I'm going to kill all this, and see what they have to say. I don't think that you should hide how you feel about people. I think that you should tell people how you feel within reason. Like, don't be like, I have pictures of you in my closet. Like, don't go anything crazy like that. But definitely change the dynamic. And I know that's easier said than done, but a lot of people have been in situations like that where they're letting other people dictate their happiness, and you are in full control of that when you tell someone, this is how I feel about you, this is how I want to kind of pursue this, are you down or are you not down? And if they're honest about it, they're saying yes or no to that. You can't accept a maybe, and you can sleep at night knowing that you did everything you could, whether either way it goes. If they say, yeah, I'm down for that, I actually blah blah blah, and it was a miscommunication, and then you guys can start trying to do that. Or more likely, honestly, is that they're like, not really, like, I'm not ready to whatever, blah, blah, blah. If someone tells you that they're not ready to pursue a relationship with you, believe them and get it out of your head. And I know that's easier said than done, but you don't have to stop caring for this person, but you have to stop getting your hopes up in pursuing them. So don't pursue them, still care about them, but know that it's not going to happen. Don't let them steer your life or your feelings. Steer your own shit. You ask the question, you tell them this is what's going to happen, and here's what's going to happen if you say yes or you say no, and then stick to that. And it's going to hurt, but at least you will know. And that's better than not knowing where someone stands. Currently speaking to a guy who has this condition. He seems like such a genuine person and has the kindest heart ever. He's also a great listener and is family oriented. We've been speaking for 4 months and I've went on a few dates. However, he only ever told me of his... All right. Am I supposed to... I don't know how to pronounce this, so forgive me. Dysgenic Dartos as of last week. I'm not sure how to feel or if I should even continue our relationship. I'm really stuck and definitely need advice. Here's some advice. When you write into this video to this idiot, you're going to have to provide medical definitions because I have no idea what that is. Dysgenic Dartos. Google what it is. The first words on Google are buried penis. Whoa. Buried penis is when a penis of typical size is partially or fully hidden by the scrotum or excess tissue in the pubic area. You're going to need to go to Google Images because I think I know what that means, but I'm not really sure. It is a condition for sure. Yeah. So what's happening in this photo that I can't show you is that the penis seems to be like inside of the body. So it kind of resembles what I imagine a micro penis to look like in a way, but it's not. It's just covered by like more skin. What should you do? I don't know. That's kind of up to you. I mean, it really depends. How important is sex to you? I don't think that you're being unfair. I mean, maybe that's a question you ask him. How is this going to affect a sexual part of our relationship? Because that is important to me. Don't wait a year to bring it up and be like, by the way, I actually hate the fact that you have a buried penis. You get ahead of that buried penis. Or try it out. Try out some unburied penis sex. Maybe it's fire. We have no idea. Like blind people can hear really well. Maybe if you got a buried penis, he's got some other shit that's just fire and you just blow your mind. You have no idea. Need to lose weight. Like really need to. I honestly just cannot find the motivation or willpower or whatever it is. I am struggling so much. Any advice on mindset, etc.? Thank you. I think if you're just starting out on a weight loss journey, you're not ready to take in any sort of outside motivation or willpower. It will seem almost impossible to be like, I will never be in that shape, or I'll never be there or whatever. Losing weight or even exercising consistently is a very difficult thing to do. And also eating healthy seems like a very difficult thing to do. You have to go at your own pace and you have to build it very slowly. I have had an issue in the past where it's like, I have to do this every single day like this because I was like that. The day that I would mess up, which we're human, we're going to mess up. It's someone's birthday. We're going to go get drunk and then we're going to eat pizza at the end of the night. Next morning, you're going to be like, I'm a fat bitch, dude. I don't deserve to even work out today. And then you don't, and then you're like, well, forget it. Now I've already screwed it up. I won't go anymore. You can't have that. You have to find the motivation within yourself, right? So what that means is you have to create these tiny goals. Be realistic with yourself. Could just be, I'm going to cook dinner tonight, or I'm going to cook dinner twice a week, or I'm going to cook dinner every night, or anything. Just set a realistic goal for yourself. And maybe slightly portion controlling, bringing in the portions that you usually eat is a step forward. It makes you feel good about yourself. It's the same reason why all these fucking crazy guys are like, make your bed in the morning. It's like, that's an easy win. It feels like I've done something with my day already. I've made my bed. I don't think it's like a necessary step to build a Fortune 500 company like they're selling, but it's something. Once you have some sort of consistency of going out of your way, you can then start applying that in harder ways. Don't listen to anyone and be like, I have to do that. Find the wins within yourself. Do more than what you're doing right now and do that for a week. Then the next week, do a little bit more. All right? You have to keep going out of your way for yourself. I have now talked way too long. Next one. Me, male, 26, and my cousin, female, 28. Can't stop having sexual relations. What do I do? Here's my advice. Stop fucking your cousin. Okay, because that makes Christmas a little strange. Maybe one day one of your uncles are going to notice that you guys are giggling a little too hard, or it's like, oh, they keep going outside and like in the other room to talk or whatever. What is that about? People are going to notice, people are going to find out, and it's going to make your living situation weird. And I wouldn't really condone cousins having sex and getting married and having children, biologically. That creates some hiccups. So I think my advice would be abstain, okay? I want to completely change careers, but I'm scared to fail, and I don't have the financial freedom to do it. How do I go about this, or how do I gain the confidence to try? This is very tough if you don't have any sort of financial freedom to do it. Only way that I can give advice on this is if you could find some sort of loophole to hold you afloat, like if you were to get either a part-time job or a different job that is not as time-consuming as a career would be, like a salaried position, then maybe that could hold you afloat while you either go to school for something or you start working on a different project project. If it isn't a complete career change, like you're studying to be a lawyer and then now you want to be a nurse, then maybe you can do both at the same time. You can sacrifice some of your free time to working on this. Like actors, they work as waiters, they don't make a lot of money, they go on a bunch of auditions and they finally get their breaks. They're like working on two things at the same time. You can try and do something like that. How do you gain the confidence to try? You'll never have it. I don't think that you'll ever have confidence enough to be like, this will work out. And if you do, that I think is nuts to be like, of course that will work out. It's a necessary risk. If it means enough to you, then that's all you need. Be confident enough to be like, I'm going to risk this. And if it doesn't work out, I'll be fine. If it's worth that risk, do it. I need advice on how to tell my coworker that her yoga pants have skid marks on them. No one else will say anything, and it's a glaring fucking problem. She doesn't seem to notice, or maybe she just doesn't give a shit. You know what's crazy about this is like, this doesn't seem like an isolated incident. It feels like every time she wears yoga pants, she's got skid marks on them. I think if you're a woman, you should pull her aside and be like, hey, girl to girl, got a little of this. You got a little chocolate. And maybe she'll be like, oh my God, what? And like, you know what I'm saying? But don't like out loud be like, yo, you fucking got shit marks on your stuff. You know, like don't say that. I think you just, pull a girl aside and like be like, yo, listen, girl power type of shit. You got a little, you know what I'm saying? A little stain back there. And like, I saw it. I just let you know. And if she's like, yeah, I know. Then you just walk away and be like, and you quit your job because you're like, I can't be around people like that. And then if it starts to be an actual problem, then I think like the second time you'd be like, oh my God, there's another one of those little things back there. If it keeps being like this, then you start having a different conversation. You got advice on like, listen, here's how to properly wipe your ass. Do you use wet wipes? Because like that could be a very helpful thing for you because it's getting all over the place. Also buy black yoga pants. Okay. Because that could fix everyone's problem. You can go back to wiping your ass like an idiot, and then we can go back to not seeing it. How do you get to the point where you don't care about what other people think? I'm always constantly worried that people are mad at me, and I don't know how to fix that, and it's stressful. You're asking the wrong guy. I care desperately about what other people think, and I'm extremely sensitive, and I'm always worrying about if people are mad at me. If you are annoying about it, and you're always just like, what are you mad at me? Like, that's fucking annoying. But like, I think it's healthy to worry about what other people think, because if someone's a stranger and they don't know you, and they have an opinion about you that's not true, that's one thing. Like that I'm not very worried about. But if people that I know all have the same opinion, definitely worried about that. That's a me problem. Like if everyone is telling me this, you know what? Even like strangers, for instance. I mean, I put myself out there on the internet all the time and I feel very comfortable with knowing who I am. But if an audience is seeing me do something and everyone has the same opinion about me, then it must be true. Thousands of people can't make up a lie. I guess that doesn't really exist. I'm very about being realistic and honest with myself, and I like changing and I like working on myself. So if someone's telling me like this about your personality is not helping, or it's like this is affecting me, or I don't like this about whatever, and enough people have said that, I want to change that. And it's not about being a people pleaser or about like the way that I am is dictated by other people. It's not about that. The person that I am is I want people to be happy and comfortable, and I want to be like the best version of myself. So if I'm honest with myself and enough people are like, hey, we're noticing that you're like this, then I will change. I can tell you an example. There's been a person in my life who one time was like, sometimes I feel like you don't give people the platform to talk about themselves. And I was like, that was like, wow, okay, fine. And like, I don't know if that's fucking true. Someone said that and it's just like, okay, I get it. Maybe you're saying that right now. The fact that potentially may be true is like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want people to feel like, oh, I'm only going to talk about myself and not let people talk about them or anything like that. So you just address those things. Just be honest with yourself. And then if someone says that, later on of like, oh, I feel this way, you'd be like, no, I don't do that. Like, I feel more comfortable being like, no, I've actually paid attention to that, over the course of how long. And that's not something I do. It just makes you more confident in knowing yourself. If people bring something up to you and then you're able to be like, I'll pay attention to that. And if you're honest enough and you know that about yourself, then when someone brings it up, it's like, all right, fucking these person they don't know me. How to start a podcast when you're just a regular person and you aren't like famous. If you would have asked me this 10 years ago, I would have had a different answer. If you want to start a podcast right now, because everyone has one, the market is super saturated, everyone does pretty much the same things, I think it would be difficult to stand out if it's like me and my friend, we have cool opinions and we're funny and we're just going to start a podcast. It's much more difficult to stand out in that way. I would brainstorm about a concept that you feel like is missing. Like if you come up with an idea of like, oh, this would be really cool, I idea that I have never seen on the internet and would be fun to watch as a consumer, let's do that. If there was a structure to it and not very like loose of like, yeah, it's just me and my buddy and we just talk about stuff. That's more difficult to sell to people, especially when you don't have a platform yet. But I think starting a show, and this is always the example that I've given to people, so it probably exists by now, not because of me, but just because I think it's a thing. But imagine a podcast like you're a girl and you're going to use, or a guy, and you're going to use dating apps to meet people, and then you tell them like before your first date, like, I would love to talk to you and I have this podcast, and just kind of sitting and talking to your dates, you know, like your first date, they come into your apartment, maybe a studio with a security guard, now that I think about it. But then you guys just kind of like talk, and that's how, like, you know, whatever. So the whole thing is like awkward first dates that you're on. There's a concept there that would be like, oh, that's interesting. So it doesn't have to be that, hi, I'm me, regular person, just be interested in me off the bat before I've proven myself. Like, that's hard to do. But a concept that is interesting to people is a lot easier to sell to them. Oh, it's a show where, you know, we talk to people anonymously and then they reveal these secrets about their lives because they're anonymous, which is like how we did other people's lives. Now I'm plugging my own show. I am a internet whore. I think the concept is where people want to be entertained. What is this thing? Wow, that sounds interesting. I'm going to watch it regardless of who the host is. That, I think, is the thing that you should focus on more than anything. The other part of this is just being consistent. Nothing's going to happen maybe for 2 years, maybe for 3 years. But if you enjoy doing it and it's a fun side project and you actually enjoy the concept of this podcast that you have, just keep doing it, putting out clips, making sure that you're trying to get as much exposure as possible. And if it's good, people will flock to it. Make sure it's something that you can do even if you never see a dollar from it. That's the mentality you have to have. If you're chasing money, you're not going to find it. All right. Well, that's about all the advice that I have for today. I hope that any of this resonated with people, because I do tend to ramble from time to time. But thank you guys so much for sending these in. We appreciate it. We got so many, so maybe we'll do this again in the past. If you are interested in that, let us know. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.